A heavy, deep-sea lander rests entirely motionless on the floor of the Java Trench. Its high-definition camera is staring silently into the dark water, just inches above the sediment. And then, out of absolute nowhere, an octopod glides quietly into the frame. It moves effortlessly, propelled by these broad, ear-like fins and arms joined together by a soft, pale web. This incredible encounter lasts only as long as the animal happens to remain within the camera's super narrow field of view. Yet this fleeting, silent little scene holds immense, groundbreaking scientific weight.
6,957 meters. Think about that number for a second. That is the exact depth where this footage was captured by that lander deployed deep into the Indian Ocean. This specific measurement isn't just a neat fact. It marks the exact location of the deepest confirmed in-situ cephalopod ever observed by humans. We are looking at a living animal functioning perfectly in a radically extreme environment, far deeper than any octopod has ever been confirmed in its natural day-to-day surroundings.
Now, you might naturally assume Dumbo Octopus is the name of the exact animal we're looking at, right? But here is a totally unexpected shift in perspective. Dumbo Octopus isn't actually a specific species at all. It's really just a common name applied to a recognizable body plan. Specifically, it refers to cirrhid octopods that share these paired fins, webbed arms, and tiny, slender structures called cirri near their suckers. It's kind of like calling every vehicle you see a truck without knowing the make or model. Because a camera restricts our ability to perfectly identify minute physical biological details, taxonomy forces us to be incredibly cautious here. So we can confidently say this is a member of the genus Grimpoteuthis, but we have to label it merely as Grimpoteuthis sp, an unidentified species within that genus. It perfectly preserves our scientific accuracy without adding completely unsupported precision just based on a video feed.
But watching how this creature actually moves, it is absolutely mesmerizing. Those ear-like fins are highly muscular appendages supported by an internal framework, and they stroke steadily to carry it through the water with just incredible, precise control. Then, that soft web expands and contracts, which allows for these rapid, fluid changes in direction. Finally, the arms and those little cirri reach down and actually make contact with the substrate. It isn't just swimming, you know? It's a highly adaptable, near-bottom foraging system. They hover, they pulse, and they reach, perfectly optimized for capturing tiny, scattered invertebrates suspended just barely above the dark seafloor.
And this highly specialized movement is exactly what allows it to survive at completely unfathomable extremes. Published in the journal Marine Biology back in 2020, this footage actually documented not just one, but two impossibly deep encounters. Before this specific paper, the old reliable maximum depth for these animals stood at 5,145 meters. Well, the new records totally shattered that. One was filmed at 5,760 meters, and our main subject right here at 6,957 meters. We aren't talking about a minor adjustment here or some mathematical extrapolation. This is a massive 1,812-meter leap into uncharted biological territory, proven beyond a shadow of a doubt by a living, breathing animal.
By crossing that massive 6,000-meter mark, this Grimpoteuthis enters what is known as the Hadal zone. Basically, this is the extreme realm, where trenches dramatically descend way below the surrounding abyssal plain, and crossing this specific threshold is deeply significant. Down here, the pressure, the food supply, the terrain, the water movement, literally everything is fundamentally altered. Yet the footage we captured proves this isn't some lost, dying specimen that accidentally drifted too far down. Not at all. It is functioning actively and beautifully in a true Hadal habitat.
Which presents us with a massive physiological puzzle. Extreme depth places biological tissues under immense, just crushing hydrostatic pressure. You'd probably expect an animal surviving down here to have evolved, thick armor or incredibly dense skeletal structures to fight the weight of the ocean. But here's a wildly unexpected detail. The cirrate octopod survives through omission. It completely lacks any gas-filled swim bladder or really any internal spaces that must remain inflated. By simply omitting the biological spaces that the ocean would desperately want to crush, it removes a major mechanical vulnerability altogether. Its soft, water-based tissues are just beautifully suited to the pressure. It beats the deep ocean not by fighting it, but by yielding to it entirely.
But here's the catch. While a camera gives us absolute certainty of an animal's presence at this depth, it leaves us blind to almost everything else. Because direct encounters like this are so incredibly sparse, we have absolutely no idea about their lifespan, their growth rate, or their reproductive timing. We don't really know their complete diet. We honestly can't even begin to guess their population size in the Java Trench. Does a massive thriving community of Grimpoteuthis live down there? Or is this just a rare outlier quietly passing through? A brief video sequence simply cannot tell us. A maximum confirmed observation beautifully defines an established limit for sure, but it absolutely does not establish a universal address.
On the freezing floor of the Java Trench, the Grimpoteuthis continues its quiet patrol. Its paired fins maintain a steady, rhythmic stroke, and the webbed arms gather briefly beneath its soft body. Then, almost as suddenly as it appeared, the moving form slips entirely beyond the camera's boundary. The encounter just ends. The staggering depth reading of 6,957 meters remains locked in the scientific data forever, but the living animal is gone, leaving the high-definition lander watching only dark water and an empty, narrow patch of sediment. If one brief, fleeting glimpse can completely shatter our understanding of the deep ocean, what else is waiting for us in the dark?